welcome to Chasing K-Dramas, a podcast that dissects popular Korean dramas episode by episode. We dig into the characters, themes, and everything in between. I'm your host, Dulcé Sloan, and I'm here with my co-host,
Chrissy Choi.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Feliz Navidad. I only speak 2 languages. How do you say Merry Christmas in Korean? Girl.
성탕. Ah, fuck me. 성탕. Yeah. Hold on. I haven't said it in such a long time. Something's 성탕. 잠깐만.
Because wouldn't it just be Happy Christmas? Because how do you say
아니. Oh, well, I just put it in Google Translate. It goes, Merry Christmas. I don't think that's it. There's another word for it.
Up? I thought you were going to say Merry Christmas.
아니야, 근데 메리 크리스마스가 아니고 there's like 선탕. Something 성탕.
How do you say Merry?
메리 크리스마스. 좋은 성탕? Am I crazy?
I refuse to believe it's Merry. I refuse to believe it's Merry Christmas in an accent.
There is another word for it. Sometimes there's a word. We used to say it at church, I think.
It's like instead of Easter, we'll say Happy Resurrection Day.
I gotta find this. This is gonna drive me crazy.
Listen, I too would be annoyed.
Okay, I gotta Google this, but yes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Apparently, I am pretty sure there's another word for it. We are going to. I will look this up later. Something's 헌탕. Am I crazy? I may be crazy. But anyways, yes. No. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. We're doing a Christmas Eve episode. It's 12/24. Very exciting. But be sure to subscribe, right, on our YouTube and follow us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. We are currently doing our 10,000 Road to 10,000 Sarangees campaign right now. Our goal is we hit 10,000 subs by February 26, 2026.
22626.
It's very exciting stuff. And then, we have an official fan club, Club Sarangees, on our Substack. Be sure to join that for $6 a month. You get bonus content. You get a newsletter. It's a lot of fun stuff. We have a little chat thing there. All of our Sarangees are chatting on it. You need to get on that. I go in and I'm chatting.
Here's the thing about Substack.
Substack is very confusing to use.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. So
God, I was like, I'm a college graduate. This can't be this hard.
So and I'm always in the official, I'm using the Chasing K-Dramas account. So
right.
It's just Chasing K-Dramas and people are like, who is this? I'm like, it's Chrissy. Because I always I'm chatting and they're like, who am I talking to?
Well, the thing was I was in mine trying to.
You can just do You just need to join. You should be able to do it because you're a premium member.
I thought I was.
Then
I was in it, and then I couldn't figure out what I was doing. And then I was trying to write the newsletter, and I'm like, oh, I can't be in me doing the newsletter for us. Then I got to get in the Chasing K-Dramas, and I think I had to text you while you were in France or something. I was like, hey, can you let me in? Was I in France?
You were somewhere.
I
was in New York, I think. Yeah, I was in New York. Yeah. I was in New York. Yeah. So, but anyways, be sure to join that. But today we are covering the final 2 episodes of Genie Make-A-Wish. And
this show is so good. I don't like the people. This is one of those shows where it's when I started watching, so when they had that show Reboot on Hulu, right?
Reboot?
Yes.
I never watched that.
So it was Keegan-Michael Key.
Okay.
The lady from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, whose name I can't remember. And
Rachel Bloom.
She
is hysterical.
She's hysterical. I know her. I hate that I lost her name. And then the guy from Jackass, who's an actor now.
Johnny Knoxville?
Yes.
How do I know these people?
Because we grew up the time you grew up. And then Paul Reiser. And so the show was about them rebooting a TV show from the 90s.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, I saw this. Yes, yes.
I saw the first 2 episodes and I was like, this show is great. It's very good. Yeah. It's not getting a 2nd or 3rd season.
I think with Genie, I thought about this. I think because you and I are I've developed I've read scripts, I've worked on scripts, all of that. I think if you are in the storytelling business,
yes,
I think you like the show just because it is so rich. The world, the lore is there. Yes. There's so much stuff, and it's an interesting.
I think the story. Bad press from the beginning because so many things now are people are so worried about being offended by a thing. So I think at the beginning because she was using culturally accurate terms.
Yeah.
But what she was doing got twisted. I think that the bad press from the beginning is people just kind of like shuttled the show.
Yeah, I think people were really offended by the fact, and again, we're not from that culture, but I think that word shaitan or iblis, it's like a real bad word. Like
it is a bad word.
People are like, ooh, so, but for people who watched it and said, oh, it's boring, or like who just couldn't get into it. I mean, I get it. Some people just don't like fantasy, but I like fantasy.
But it was so fast paced.
Yes.
I didn't have time to be bored. And that's the thing where I was like, how is this boring?
Yeah,
I think the first 2 episodes where they're laying down with the lore and because anytime there's a fantasy thing, it's like when you think of like the beginning of like any of those Lord of the Rings movies, and it's like, okay,
we're in.
But it's like, or when you first start watching Game of Thrones, it's like, okay, we have to tell you 7 fucking kingdoms.
I have to say, though, because like a Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings is different because there's narration and all of that, and because it's like a freaking 3 books and all of that. Right. But I think that maybe we talked about this when we recapped episode 1. There was a lot of exposition. I don't think they needed all that exposition. So maybe that kind of turned people off.
Oh, in the way that so like with Game of Thrones,
there's no exposition. You're just in.
You get there, which I think is nice sometimes because I think people just want to go, well, what are we doing?
But it was back in the day when they had like how many episodes per season? Like it was how many seasons of Bad Robot of Game of Thrones was there?
There was like
7, yeah. So they had time to do it.
But also, I think when they first started doing it, but they didn't have 7 when they first started. Like, you don't get a 7 season order.
I think they just kind of assumed that it would be like stuff.
But
I guess what I'm saying is, it had to be fast paced because you only have 13 episodes,
right? And so it's like when you have. There's ways to do exposition. Yeah. Like I said in this writing class, our teacher was like, instead of, you want to show more than you tell.
Yes,
so if you're giving me backstory, do it in conversation.
Yeah.
So I think
some of the dialogue.
In the dialogue. Yeah. So I think a lot of, when they were talking about the wars and stuff like that, I think that could have been a conversation between Angel and Genie when they're fighting. Fighting. Or it's like, oh, we did this 300 years ago and we're doing this again.
Yeah.
Or the things with like Sade or Irem or any of these other things. I think when they were laying out those rules, I think that's rules he could have laid out when Kayan got her wish.
Yeah.
Or when she found the lamp. It could have been, she got those things in the details of stuff as opposed to.
Yeah. There was a lot of, and then they repeated, there's like a lot of rehash. I think at one point, in the middle of the season or the episodes, like they like go back and they like bring back the graphics from the first episode.
And I'm like, why? I paid it. I got this.
So today we're going to go through 12 and episode 13, right?
Yes.
So short synopsis of episode 12. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the last episode 11 was super freaking sad.
Yes,
a lot
I
of
sobbing.
Make
sure I get my
open up your girl what moments
because
there was a lot.
I have at least 4.
I know. So I think this for this episode 12, we'll spend most time on episode 12 because I think the final episode, it's I feel like again. A lot of these final episodes, I just feel like half of it's fluff, and I mean, not that this wasn't that much fluff, but they only needed first 30 minutes of it.
I can't say for the final episode of a show, this was the one I've been the least angry at.
Yeah, because it's like you're not wasting so much time.
Because Marry My Husband, I was like, be done.
It was stupid. Okay, so episode 12. So it has the most intense mix of emotion and action.
There's so much
tons of action, right? So Genie returns after confronting his past and believes he caused Kayong's death in their previous life, while Kayong focuses on saving him in the present. Our wishers, right? Pogyong, YouTube couple, Kim Ge, Daniel Henney. We see a resolution in all their wishes. There's a battle with Khalid, right, which erupts. His dad dies, or he kills his dad. Genie's captured. Kayong uses a hidden wish to rescue him. There's a lot, okay?
Yes.
And then it gets super sad because Halmoni sacrifices her life to protect Minji and Kayong, right? And Kayong is grieving because of this death in the way that she only knows how to. And she has to kind of like figure out how she can do that, right? She's figuring out ways of doing that. And Kayoung's last wish remains, and the stage is set for the finale. Okay, so key moment number 1. We're going in. Okay, so Genie blames himself for Kayoung's death. Okay, so Genie comes back, right, from the past in the last episode, right, and he sees Kayoung, right, and Kayoung realizes that he finally remembers their past life. Okay, and Genie tells her that he caused her death. He's like, I believe I caused your death. It was all my fault.
He didn't.
Yeah, right. And then this is the sweet moment where she says, hey, let's not focus on the broken past and just focus on our future.
Because it was 1,000 years ago.
Literally 1,000
And I've also
years ago.
had 2 or 3 other lifetimes.
I know.
Since this happened.
I know. But, this scene really sets up the finale's like tension, right? Which is Genie thinks loving Kayoung destroys her, right? But Kayoung refuses to let fate dictate their story. So Genie now is kind of on the defense almost in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like he knows what's going to happen. He's done it already. So I think he's in a really tough spot. Whereas Kayoung, I think she's just kind of like, we'll figure this out. Like she's like positive.
We're in a She-Hulk situation.
Yes.
We're in a She-Hulk situation.
Yeah, exactly. Because, there are moments where what's her face felt like, Chuan felt like, that fate was kind of repeating, right? She was doubting it at one point, but the Chi-Hulk's just like, no, we'll figure this out.
And the Ji-Hulk at one point it was like, I'm gonna die. We can't be together. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. We can't be together. I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna sacrifice myself for you. And it's like, you really don't need to do anything except f***ing up with. Stop bothering Minjii.
And I think too, I feel like where we're at now, it's like we talked about this in the last episode. It's a lose-lose right now. I don't see a way that they can get out of this.
No.
Right?
But also it's like Halmoni has to die. Because
we know she's gonna die, technically.
The next time the plum tree
the
blossoms?
plum tree or some kind of the plum blossom. Yeah.
So next time we see the plum blossom, then Halmoni is going to die. So you only have 2 options. Either Halmoni is going to die, and we only got 2 episodes left. So either Halmoni dies now, or she dies in 13.
And then,
but what Korean drama is going to end a drama with someone dying in the very last episode? You can't do what, right?
What? Well, yeah. So
you have to so she has to die at the very beginning, and then so you can wrap it up. So you only have 2 more episodes or it's either she dies in 12, she dies in 13, or Angel was lying to her. Just a way to stress Halmoni out. Because it could have been a thing where Kayoung could then wish for grandma to not die. But we already saw what happened the last time she wished for somebody to not die. They lived forever, and then Khalid got a body to live in.
Yeah.
So we already have the lesson, so she can't wish for grandma to not die. So now grandma's going to die, and now you have to see what Kayoung has to do with grandma dying.
Yeah.
Like how Kayoung processes grandma dying.
I know. And then the Kayoung and Genie, most likely a sad ending, right? Because unless there's some like thing that, like you're saying, like maybe there's like a trick or something at the end that we don't know about.
Or God forgives them.
Yeah. Okay. So
because as if Hunbi said that the little girl's wish from 1,000 years ago has never been fulfilled, then they still have to be punished.
Yeah. Okay. So our second key moment. So we're going to go through all the other wishes, right? Because all the other wishers, they get their wishes resolved, okay? First thing, our YouTube couple, okay? So Yan, right, the trash-ass husband, who decided to wish away his wife's memory.
Of her, so she can't stress him out about these wishes. Now she can't remember, so she deleted their page and changed the password. Because he didn't want to save her dad. So now she can't remember the password, and now she feels terrible.
Yes.
Because she's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know
because she has no idea. It's because her memory was wiped out, right? So she has no idea.
And so she starts.
That he was being a trash ass.
And so she starts going through all the old passwords. And she says, well, I tried our anniversary and the first time we met and our first date and all this other stuff. And he goes, those were all of the passwords. And she's like, yeah. So he
feels bad.
He feels bad because he got to see how much his wife really loves him.
And he's a piece of shit,
and he's
literally.
A piece of shit. So now he has to take the last wish and save He has to save somebody. Mm-hmm. So he has to take the last wish and save the dad.
So he saves her father, which was nice. So he wishes his father-in-law's cancer goes away.
And she's like, my dad just called. It was terminal and now he's fine.
And guess what? The dad also tells her, oh, I've been getting all of your YouTube reset emails, password reset emails. Like, do you need this? She's like, oh my God. So happily ever after for them. They're able to retrieve the YouTube channel. They're able to have all their... So everything ends up being happy, which is great. And to me, like, this is a great redemption story. He went from trash ass for a second, and then he redeemed himself. So there is some good in the world.
But it's also one of those situations. I had an ex say this to me. He was like, well, when we would stop talking, because I'd be like, ugh. If I came, when I came back, I was like, what's the deal here? And he's like, oh, well, you don't ever realize what you have until it's gone. I'm just like,
oh, yes, this is the perfect example of that.
Well, why did I have to go anywhere?
I know. Why did I have to delete? Why did I have to delete this page?
I know. For you to realize that you should have helped me.
Yeah. Save my dad.
Because now, if you think about it, he could have just used the second wish to save the dad. And then when I had a third wish, you had to use your third wish to fix your second wish to make your first wish worth it.
But if he would have forgotten everything, because the final wish zaps everything too. All the
final
memories.
wish zaps everything, right?
Which is good.
But
so now he can't remember. He doesn't remember. He has no memory of being a trash ass. Isn't that crazy? How this works? Okay.
So he has no memory of being a dick. Now, mind you, he saves. Because he also doesn't tell them once you're done with your third wish, you won't remember this until they're making their third wish. So he could have just saved the dad and then had another fun wish.
Yeah.
But you're always having to use a wish to fix a wish.
Yeah. So then we move on and we go to Poppy, right? Daniel Henny, Kim Ge, right? So his driver, right? The doggy's final wish was becoming a dog again. And right before he does that, he decides to give his fortune to his driver, okay?
My question is, why couldn't he become a dog again in front of his family's house?
Yes. So right now, it seems like, the driver Kim, he's there and he's at the same spot where we left Poppy, right? And he's watching the cars go by and he's like, I have this fortune. I don't know who gave it to me. I have all this money, but all I know is I'm taking care of abandoned dogs. So he basically has a shelter now. He's taking in doggies.
Because it's obvious that Poppy died because as a human man, he coughs up blood.
I know. So Poppy died, but another doggy, a little collie, I think, comes.
And it's a nice dog.
It's a cute little dog.
And you can tell it got abandoned.
So then driver Kim's like, okay, doggy's going to come with me. It was that part, this part too. I was like, this is so bittersweet. Oh my God, poor Poppy.
When I saw Poppy outside,
I know.
I was bawling. Because that's how we got our cat Miracle, because somebody dumped her on the side of the road. But she was maybe 3 weeks old. And the lady dumped her on 285. My mom found her because she was in traffic on 285 and saw a kitten going towards the road, and she pulled over and grabbed her. That's how we got Miracle. But honestly, to see how the dad was acting.
I know.
The dad definitely dumped that dog.
Well, so then there's a scene where we go back to that family and the little boy's like, I found my toy. And the mommy's just like, oh, how'd you find the toy? He's like, oh, Poppy told me. She's like, I told you Poppy went abroad. Poppy went on vacation.
On a farm.
But then
the dad realizes,
he's like, that's weird.
That guy whispered in my son's ear and he found his toy. That guy was the dog.
But technically, though, wouldn't have. So this is where this drama kind of...
Because the little boy shouldn't have remembered
anything. Yes. Because of the final wish should have wiped everyone out.
Everyone's wiped?
I think so.
You think everyone's wiped?
I think everyone is wiped who was encountered the person. Oh. Because it makes no sense. So this is why. So when we go to the very end, we could talk about it. This was my big gripe with this is I feel like the wishing, it was a bit that final rule kind of it bummed me out. It just I don't quite understand it still. Sometimes it would affect people. Sometimes it wouldn't affect people.
Well, it was just with the Halmoni who was I think I remember my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Being a cashier and being happy to see me. and her not being a miserable manager.
So it's kind of, it doesn't make sense. Okay, anyways, so then we see Kayoung, right? So basically she shows up. So Kayoung goes to Pokyung's house, but before she goes, she packs her Louis Vuitton bag with a bunch of cash, okay?
Which, according to the exchange rate now, is probably what, $4?
$4. So sad. So she takes it to Pokyung and she basically tells Pokyung, hey, sell me your last wish. If you sell me your last wish, you could have the money, okay? And we kind of leave it at that, okay? But this was interesting. She threatens her. She has so Kayoung has a lighter, right? She's like, I'm going to put
I will set this money on fire.
Set the money on fire if you don't give it to me. And she's like, and I'll burn it. She says, I burn it. That made me realize I do think she was the bully, right? Okay.
That so she had like sprayed with gas.
Moment. Right. So
now she's bullying her.
Okay.
Which we love,
right? I do like the fact that the husband redeemed himself. That makes me feel a little bit better. And then we see a little bit later, Pokyung also redeems herself, right? Key moment 3, the battle begins. Okay, so this is when it gets like, let's get ready, okay? Gotta get her Wheaties. Okay, so Kayoung tells Minji and Halmoni to hide in the lamp.
Because these boys is outside.
People are out. They're out to get them, okay?
These boys in the street.
Right. So then Sade is left there too, and Sade needs to protect them, okay? So Sade goes, okay?
But Sade can get in and out of the lamp.
Right.
They can't.
So they're there hiding, and then we find Minji tells Kayoung, she's like, I know the truth now. You don't need to explain stuff. I figured it out. I'm not an idiot. So everyone knows
that Halmoni
There's magic. Halmoni's, young, all of that. So cat's out of the bag, okay? Then Angel visits Kayoung, okay? And he's like, hey, I hope you make the right decision. I'm going to kill Genie. I need to gain favor with God, blah, blah, blah. Kayoung's just like, you're full of shit. At the end of the day, you're insecure and you're jealous, and this is why you're trying to do this. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, right? So Kayoung's just kind of like, I don't need to listen to your explanation of why you need me to do a selfless wish, right? I don't care.
Also, if you're knowingly doing a selfish wish, is it selfless?
Exactly. So she's just like, I don't care. I'm going to save Genie. She's determined. So she's saying that she's going to make a selfish wish because she wants to save him. Okay. Right.
Yeah, she has to make a selfish wish
yeah, exactly.
Angel Nim can't slip his throat. Right. Honestly, I think you're gonna have to stop being Angel Nim.
Yeah, no, Angel Nim is like, we all knew this. He's full of shit. He's a little bitch.
He is a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag. Like, he has no reason.
And also, it's like but there's the thing. If you are an angel of the Lord, why are you acting like this?
So I think this is the whole point too that the writer's trying to do, right? You have an Iblis and you have the angel, right? Then this entire time, I think she was trying to prove a point of that
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Because imagine if I still think it would have been more interesting if this was a love triangle.
Of course. I mean, I don't know why. That would have been very fun if this was a love triangle.
If it was either a love triangle between. If we had a love triangle between Genie, Angel, and Kayoung.
Yes, 100%.
Or even sillier love triangle where Sade was in love with Kayoung instead of dating Irem. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Something so nuts. Or it was the guy who was playing, the guy from college. So either if he was the...
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought I think he did like her.
He's liked her since college.
Yeah.
So... It was either if it would have been a love,
it needed to be Angel. It would have been fun if it was Angel.
It'd have been more fun if there was, because those fights. First, he would have showed up way more often, because then you could have had an opportunity for it to be like, okay, well, she didn't pick me, but I still love her so much that I'm not going to try to kill Genie. Yeah. Or now he's trying to do things to redeem himself. Or
it's kind of like, now I understand why Genie gave everything up. and I understand the wrath of Iblis, why he did this for this woman, because now I'm in love with this woman too, and I can understand why he did it because I'm willing to do that for her.
So maybe Angel even has to go to God and say, I don't want to slit his throat. Because it's like, because the wanting to slit the throat is from the war.
He wants to slit his throat.
Or he has to slit his throat because he must
get rid of him. So that's the thing. It's like, it gives him reason.
Even more reason.
To want Kyung to make a selfless wish, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, make the selfless wish because I love you, I want to be with you, but I get to cut my enemy's throat.
Right.
The rival's throat.
And I think it would be interesting if you have a moment where it's like, if Angel has a come to Jesus moment, where he has to where God has to go, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. Shadi agrees to sing, and he's going to lure Genie into the mansion, okay? So Khalid decides, this part was crazy. He gets a piece of thread, and then he makes a thread into like a pointy little knife, like a needle almost, okay?
It looks like a sparkler.
A sparkler. And then before Shadi puts everything to sleep, he wants to
make sure he can't hear it.
So he punctures his ears, like his head, with this pointy little stick thing. Fucking wild.
So that was my girl what moment.
Yes.
But here's my thing.
Yeah.
This is the only time where you see a wound on him not heal.
Which is like, why? Oh, it's because
of
the magic thread. It was the magic thread.
So if you have something with the magic thread, okay.
Oh, because the magic thread kills everything else, right? So the magic thread, remember? Oh, yeah. When an immortal held it, it would do shit to them. It was heavy. He couldn't cut it. Genie couldn't cut it. So this immortal thread is dangerous, or it is...
So going through his ears then should have killed him. Not made him deaf through both sides.
Exactly.
Listen, hey, we've already suspended our disbelief. We're going to keep going.
So then...
But that lets you know that, why, again, if he's susceptible to his father's powers, why wouldn't his father just sing his little silly ass to sleep?
Maybe. Okay. Yeah.
Because I feel like he's not susceptible to his father's powers.
But... apparently he is. Because
he must be, because the last time he put the world to sleep, he is, because the last time I went to put the world to sleep to go visit Genie, he put his son to sleep.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Okay, so then Genie doesn't even need Shadi to lure anyone, okay? He just shows up. Shows up to the house. Literally walks up.
Pulled up to your apartment.
Then fucking Khalid kills his dad. Literally kills his dad. Then captures Genie with the threads, ties him.
Because he puts it, his dad... And I couldn't understand this. His dad was kneeled down to talk to him. And he's like, And
he just kills him.
And then shoves it. And I'm just like, why did he kill him?
While he's dying, Shadi is begging Genie, is like, don't forget about the promise that you made.
To kill my son.
He's like, so please, you need to kill my son, okay? So now.
What a crazy dying wish.
I know. Please kill my son.
He's disappearing in ashes. And it's like, don't forget to kill my son.
He's literally, because his son's a psychopath.
Did the dad always live in the ring? Or because remember when you see them at the beginning, his dad is wearing the ring he's trapped in. So remember when you see him when we first meet Khalid and we find out Shadi's the dad, the dad is wearing that ring.
Right. And then Khalid is now wearing it around his neck.
Right. After he gets into Hanbish's body.
Yeah.
My question is, does that mean that ever since his son got into Hanbish's body, has he been captive in that ring to his own son?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe that was his punishment.
Oh, for switching the bodies.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Khalid sends his men to get Kyung, right? And to get the lamp. Because the important thing, he needs the lamp to become he needs to become Genie's master, so he becomes all-powerful being, whatever, okay? But then Kyung refuses to tell Khalid the location of the lamp, okay? And she tells him, go ahead and freak out as much as you can. So in Korean, it's 어디 한번 실컷 지랄해봐, right? So she says this line, right? Because she's not going to give up her last wish. Because he's like, you need to give me your last wish. She's like, nope. Go ahead and freak out as much as you can. As soon as she says that line, she disappears because Kyung is fucking smart. This was so fucking clever. I was not expecting this.
This was my girl, I'm proud of you moment.
So her final wish, then we jump back to her having a conversation with Pogyung, right? She tells Pogyung, sell me your final wish, right? The final wish needs to be, when I say this line, right?
Yeah, this phrase, yeah.
When I say this phrase, you want me to go where Genie is.
Yeah, be transported to where
Genie is.
Yes.
Okay. So this wish happens. So she's transported. Aang is transported to where Genie's at. Okay.
And Genie is being held captive in the same cage.
He has a thread
with no door on it in the back.
Right. So he has the thread. So she comes in. She undoes the thread.
She breaks all the threads.
Releases him. Right. And then they're ready to fight. Okay. So
she gets all the threads off of Genie.
She gets the threads and she gives it to Genie. She's like, I know this is heavy, but you need to use this to kill Khalid, okay? So he goes to the Sahara land, right? Where Khalid's spirit flower is there.
And it's big and it is monstrous to the point that Sahara lives in it.
Right. Okay, so then we cut to that scene, right? Now we know that Genie is there with his sword and the threads, okay?
And this is the Iblis sword. Like, this is the one that killed Mutalib.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Then we discover that, so there was in the last episode, Angel tells Irem that the day is coming, okay? And then when the moment happens, she needs to do something. Do you remember that? So then we discover that her task is to bring the lamp to Khalid. So Angel is truly, truly, truly awful human being.
Bitch.
Oh, he's not a human being. Excuse me.
He's a bitch.
Awful, immortal person.
You do not have to be a living human because, and the thing is, like, because remember, Genie disguised the lamp to look like something. Like, it looks like a little cute little canister thing.
Like a water bottle. Looks like a water bottle. Yeah.
And then she walks right up in the room and is like, you. Because she would know what it is because she's also like a magical creature.
So it's kind of crazy. So she is like, she's going to deliver. So she delivers a lamp to Khalid, okay?
I was shocked. When she rolled up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. Because there's a scene also when she tells Sade, she's like, there's going to be a moment where I need to do what I need to do. You need to do what you need to do. So she kind of warns me. She's like, what are you doing?
She said, because we both serve our own masters. You got to do you. I got to do me because I got to get mine.
Yeah, Angel is not a good person.
Yeah, because he's like, this war never ended. And it's like, is it like that misguided soldier or anything? Or is, honestly, I can tell you it's giving Old Testament. Because like if you look at like for instance, like, the rainbow symbolizes that God will never flood the earth again. So when you think of like, the flood and then like Lot's wife and these things like that, it's, this is like God's like, I'm vengeful. You don't act right. I
will do things. Yeah.
Right. Because I used to have this joke where I would equate black parenting to Old Testament God. Because it's just like, I have no, I told you what it was. I told you what it was. Clean your room, pillar assault. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's very much like things have to be followed a certain way. Yeah. And so if you look at like the idea of like the angel of death or like God's wrath, it's like it's like angel represents God's wrath, I feel like, but he's doing bitch ass moves to achieve God's wrath.
Yeah.
And so having,
is that really, I mean, God is seeing all of this. Is he like, sure, go ahead and be a little sneak? I don't think so.
No, that's what it's like. But that's where you come into your fate and free will situation. But you still are going to have the reckoning. So it's almost like, it almost feels like that Angel isn't afraid of like consequences from God.
No.
Because he's like, I'm acting in this way because here's the thing. If you still think the war is going on, anything you're doing now is all acts of war. This isn't revenge because the war never ended. I'm still trying to win.
So our fourth key moment is Halmoni sacrifices herself. This is real sad. Okay, so then Irem arrives, right, to the mansion to give the lamp to Khalid.
Which I did not understand and I hated every second of.
So then Sade is shocked because Sade is out there trying to protect Halmoni and Minjii, right?
Because they got knocked out of the lamp and got kidnapped.
Well, so we got to get to that point. This doesn't happen yet because Sade's outside the lamp, but I'm curious. They're still in the lamp, but Sade is there. And Sade's shocked, but then she tells him, she's like, remember what I told you? You got to do what you got to do, right?
Right.
So then he starts fighting Khalid's men, okay? Then we have village leader, where in a flashback, Kyung told him, hey, one day you're going to see a bunch of birds fly from the sky and die. If that happens, you need to go and prepare for war. You need to go to Khalid's house and prepare for war.
Because that means that time got frozen. That's why the birds fell out the sky.
Yes. So he's like, okay, so then there's this funny scene where village leader is gathering everyone in
gathering the troops.
He's gathering the old Marines because they're all part of the Marine Corps, I guess. So they all come, right? So they're heading over to the mansion.
It's very much like an Avengers.
It's great. It was one of my
favorite Power
Rangers
scenes. Are showing up.
So funny.
And their Zords are tractors.
Yes, and it was adorable. It was so funny. Okay, and then we see Angel, who arrives at Zahara's little area, like the sad brown land, okay?
His apocalypse garden.
Yes. So he's there, and he's trying to stop Genie from destroying Khalid's flower, okay? And then they get into a fight, right? There's another fight. A lot of crazy CGI again. And then finally they're fighting. And then Genie slices the edge of his wing. And that just that damages Angel. It also damages Irem. Because if you see in the scene, because it goes back and forth from the fight scenes, Irem falls down too. Okay?
Because you see it, because this is when he's taken the threads and wrapped it around the sword, right?
Yeah.
So, and that, which I'm sure had to be hard to do.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because Angel is so focused on revenge that he's literally helping evil.
Yeah, and he doesn't realize it. Yeah.
Oh, no, he fully realizes it.
He admits to him, oh, the war never ended for me. And then Genie's like, sure, okay, fine. But Genie spares his life, right? Because he wants to fulfill his order of slitting his throat. So he says he doesn't kill him. He doesn't kill Angel.
Do you think he should have?
I don't think Genie's bad. I think if Genie was truly evil, he would have.
I think old Genie would have done it.
Yeah. Okay, so then this is the scene where they jump, where Khalid gets... Okay, I just don't understand how Khalid is able to get into the lamp. Because he pulls out Halmoni and Minjii. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't explain that. That felt too magical for me. Like, how... I don't understand. Oh, maybe because he's half immortal? Because only immortal people are allowed to be allowed in the lamp.
It must have been it.
Okay, so this was very confusing. But anyways.
Because they could have just stayed inside of it because he wouldn't have known that's where they were hiding.
Yeah, so
Unless he could hear them going, whoa.
Yeah, so this was kind of weird, but they pull her out, right? They're trying to run away. They're at Khalid's mansion now. Minji and Halmoni trying to run away. And then Halmoni realizes Angel's death prediction is going to happen there at that moment, because you remember he told her that you're going to die when the plum blossoms. That morning earlier, she saw the pin that Kyung had bought Genie to keep track of when he was invisible or not. That pin was a plum blossom,
and it was
so she had it hanging on the clothesline, right?
Yeah, she pinned it on the clothing line, and it was in the eye line of the tree.
Yes. So she realizes, oh my God, today's the day for me. This is the plum blossom. I'm going to die. So knowing this, she turns to...
You think that was an interpretation of hers, or you think that's what Angel actually meant? Or did you think he really meant next spring?
No, I think he meant the plum blossom. Because I think she would have died next spring. She would have lived.
But then the tree would have sprouted. And then she would have died when the tree sprouted. That's what I'm wondering. Is did she interpret what he said for that moment? And that was what he really was saying? Or was he really saying when this tree blooms again?
No, I think he was just saying a plum blossom. So I don't think he meant the tree. I think that he was alluding to that moment.
Oh.
Yeah. Which makes it kind of fun.
Because I thought she was just interpreting it to make it make sense to sacrifice herself.
Maybe. No, I think it's I think that's what he was alluding to. Yeah. So then she accepts it, gets ready to sacrifice herself, right?
Oh, and she asked Minji to deliver a message of love to Kyung.
This part made me
and
so
tell her
sad.
she was pretty.
I know. She's smart. She didn't do anything. She never did anything bad. That's
she
the part
is
that
kind.
got me. Yeah.
She is smart.
It was so sweet.
She is important. And so because of her, she didn't do anything bad in her life. Because it's
well, she tells her that she shouldn't do anything bad because of Halmoni's death. She tells her that, right? She's tell her not to do anything stupid without me being here. Because she's worried that
she's
Kyung's
gonna snap.
Yep. Exactly.
She's gonna snap because Halmoni knows what she's doing on the 4th.
Yeah.
She's going walking. She's scuba diving. She's bought a coffin company. She's building coffins.
Yeah. So then Halmoni, so Minji, so they're all fighting, right? So it's like a crazy scene. You have like the village leader people fighting. Oh no, I don't think they're there yet. They haven't arrived yet. This is just Sade, the jaguar, like killing everyone, right? So they're running around screaming.
I'm surprised they fought Sade as long as they did. I thought they were just gonna shoot him.
Well, they try to shoot Minji, right? And then Halmoni takes the shot. Halmoni dies, right? But before she dies, she grabs the thread because she's so smart and she swallows the thread so Khalid can't get his hands on the bad thread, right?
Because she learned when they were trying to get the thread off of Genie the first time.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy is that
This part was nuts.
So Khalid asks his men to cut Halmoni's stomach open
To get the thread.
to get the thread. And I'm just like,
what the
and Minji, who's already upset, truly snaps.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why would you ask that? And so, then Sade dies.
Yep.
So Halmoni dies, Sade dies, with Khalid's skinny thread turned into like basically like an ice pick.
Yeah, so Khalid like stabs Sade
because he's
with
trying
the
to stop
pointy
them,
and then he dies because again that thread is fatal to immortals, right? So he dies and he turns into like.
So that means you could kill Angel with this thing. You can kill Irem with these things. You could kill Jinniya with these things.
You can. Yeah, you can kill all of them because that's how his wing was able to snap off, right?
I wonder if Khalid always was able to make that poker, like make this straight like that. Also, it's like that's the only time you see Khalid have a power. Because other times it's just like the string. But then remember he was saying the string is soaked in his blood. So maybe that's why he can control it. Because remember the first time, because Sade was like, oh, that's soaked in blood.
No, but I think that he always had the magical thread. He always had that power.
You think of that?
He's always had that as a kid too. He's always had that. Yeah.
So he's always been able to make that.
Yeah, I think
string
so.
hard like that.
He probably didn't because I think he was just waiting for D-Day basically. Like this is the day. Like he was like preparing for war, you know? Okay, so then finally, so Sade dies and then village leader comes with his people and then this is the best fight scene ever. They're fighting everyone. They're really good fighters. His wife's great too. She's beating the shit out of people. Yeah. So then they manage to drag. So village leader's wife, Minji, they drag Halmoni's body away and they hide her body and then they're able to go in an ambulance, right? This part made me so fucking sad. Minji has to declare her, like she pronounces Halmoni's death in the ambulance and she's like, I'm a dentist but I'm legally like able to do that,
which I thought was hilarious.
But it was just so sad.
It was so sad. But then she's like, because he was like, well, we need a doctor to pronounce her dead, we have to take her somewhere, because he was like, take her straight to the funeral home. And it's like, we need a doctor. She's like, I'm a dentist and I can pronounce her dead, which I thought was very funny. So sad. I could not imagine just being there. Oh, I'm a dentist, so I'm going to pronounce you, which is crazy.
So then Khalid again gets Kyung, right? Tries to kill her. Kyung refuses. She's like, you need to give me your final wish. She's like, f*** off, literally, again. But then at that moment, Genie is in Sahara land and he manages to cut the
monster flower, his Stranger Things flower,
and then he becomes black smoke and he disappears and everyone's like screaming
because the ashes just, but also it's crazy because it's like he's watching himself disintegrate.
Yeah, it's great.
And he's like, no, and the lady's like, father, I know. And you're like, this is.
Then Genie goes back, saves Kyung from Khalid's remaining men. So yeah, but then at that time, Kyung gets to Halmoni and Minji, but she's too late, right?
Right.
My God, this scene was insane. So, couple questions. Was Halmoni's choice inevitable or could anyone have stopped it?
It was either going to be... I expected Minji to take a bullet for Halmoni. And what I also expected, this is what I expected, Minji to take the bullet and die. Then, after Kyung makes her wish that somehow saves Genie. Because they forget. When they forget, Halmoni goes back to being old. Because you figured about your wishes. Yeah. Halmoni goes back to being old, and then a year goes by. She doesn't see Genie. She forgets about Genie, and then Halmoni dies of natural.
But I think we just talked about it. But I really do think the angel thing. He is the Grim Reaper, right? So when he told, I think we were both like, why did he tell Halmoni when she was gonna die? I think he just I don't think he made that shit up. It's not like he can kill her.
I think he told Halmoni when she was gonna die, so then Halmoni can tell Kyung, and then Kyung can make a selfless wish to try to lengthen the life of Halmoni. I think he told her to force Kyung to make a wish because she made Grandma young to save her in the first place.
Oh, interesting.
So I think he told her so she would go tell Kyung. And then her third wish could be for Grandma. So it would be I think he tried to force her hand to make a selfless wish. Because what else does Kyung want? She wants to save Genie, which he's not going to let her do because he wants to slit Genie's throat. Yeah. So who's the next person to save? Yeah. You save Halmoni, and then after that, you have to save Minjii. But nothing's wrong with Minjii.
Yeah. Okay. So we go to key moment number 5, right? Mm-hmm. It's her funeral, which... Halmoni's funeral is really sad. So during this entire montage, Genie is reciting a poem that Halmoni gave Kyung to learn about emotions. So it's very sweet. You see Genie after the battle, Genie kind of disappears. You see him alone in Kyung's house, and he's asking the Alexa, the genie, right, the Korean name Genie, what Halmoni said or what Halmoni's last wishes were. So Halmoni would just constantly ask the Alexa questions of what's healthy, what types of food should psychopaths eat? Can you fix a psychopath? So there's all these questions that Halmoni was asking to help Kyung, which is super sweet. And then you see Halmoni writing notes to Kyung everywhere. This part was so sad. Just messages of
because when she finds out, she starts preparing for stuff. Yes. And she was like, if there's mold on the soy sauce, scoop it off, boil it, put it back.
All of that. And then Kyung is unable to process what she is feeling. She's clearly very upset. She's mad.
But at the funeral, you can tell she had cried.
I don't think she cried, no.
But you can tell she's upset.
She's mad. You remember we talked about how the only emotion she seems to have is that she's mad?
I think she was crying mad. You can tell she had been crying, but I think she's so... Because you ever been so mad you started crying because your body has to release something? Yeah. I think she was crying mad. I think she was so angry because she couldn't save her, and then the plan didn't work because Minji's trying to wipe the blood off of her hands because she's doing this thing where she's picking at her hand.
She's picking and she's bleeding. So I didn't realize I don't think she was crying. I think she was more or less upset, and she was just duking it out on bloodying herself, hurting herself. She was hurting herself. And
she takes...
Because the whole point is, during the funeral, her aunt, the family is pissed. Everyone is they're the townspeople, her aunt, everyone's why the fuck are you not crying? How are you not sad? You're a monster. So at one point, they're treating her like an outsider again.
Because they take the picture from her. It's I knew you shouldn't have had it. But this is the thing that I don't understand. Mm-hmm. You've known her entire life. Mm-hmm. You've known that she doesn't process emotions.
So why are you expecting?
So why are you doing this now?
It just shows you how alone she is.
Right. But then also it's it's just because she's crying, you can also see that she's not okay. That's the other thing.
Yeah, just because she's not crying.
Right, because you've seen people at funerals, they look up, they're not bawling. Yeah. But you're screaming and crying. Also, her mom's not even fucking here.
I know.
So it's for the way the aunt to be acting, because it is sometimes where if you see situations of grief, people will take things out on other people just because they're upset.
And I think that's what they were doing.
Because you can see Kyung standing there, she's completely numb, but you can look at this girl and see she's upset. Y'all are just being ugly to her. Yeah. And so, but the thing that I thought was interesting was that Minji's trying to wipe the blood off her hands. Yeah. And Kyung's this is uncomfortable. Yeah. And Halmoni died and she feels uncomfortable. And Minji's you're not the only one who's upset.
I know. And she has to tell her. She's like, I'm upset too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not the only one.
Because I also
like
loved her. And you have to bear this for the day.
Yeah. And then Kyung's mom sends a briefcase full of money
Big old
to Kyung to take care of the funeral expenses. So I thought that was wild how her mom didn't show up to the very end. But
I thought she would. I thought
she was going to show up.
I thought she was going to show up with a bag of cash. I didn't think the aunt was going to be like, oh, here's the money to help. That crazy. I thought was nuts.
I feel like her mom is truly horrible human being.
The mom is the worst.
Yeah.
Because what would have been more interesting if because also that's still her mother.
Yeah.
Where's her sister? She had sisters. That's their grandma. So even her sisters aren't at the funeral.
Yeah. So that's the end. So it ends with the funeral scene and her crying. It's a super intense episode just because there's so much that happens.
Yes.
So we have, so let's count this. So Shadi dies, right?
Yes.
Khalid dies. Sade dies. Irem technically kind of dies, I think.
Well, Irem gets hurt.
Yeah. Irem gets hurt. Angel gets hurt.
Halmoni dies.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people die. Mm-hmm. A lot of people die. A lot of people get hurt. So we finally have a resolution, okay? So now we have to figure out how Kyung fully process it, okay? So episode 13. So the final episode, we follow Kyung as she struggles through grief after Halmoni's death. And she desperately tries to find Genie, right? Only to be met with silence. On impulse, she flies to Dubai.
She stayed. Let me tell you, Emirates is getting money off of her.
I know. So she goes and she makes her final wish. One day of being normal so she can finally feel love, pain, and joy. Mm-hmm. Genie grants it with a devastating confession, and Kyung is overwhelmed by a lifetime of emotion before dying at sunrise. In the afterlife, she's reborn as a Jinniya, and with Minji's final wish, she and Genie are reunited under falling cherry blossoms. Okay.
Tell me, didn't I tell you I was so annoyed by this ending?
Really?
Yes.
Okay, tell me why.
I think I was annoyed because I don't know how Kyung becomes a Jinniya. Mm-hmm. I don't know why Kyung becomes a Jinniya. Mm-hmm. I understand you make Kyung a Jinniya, so it's like, it's a way for her and Genie to be together forever, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't in the same way that at the end of Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, the king just shows up in modern day in the last episode. And you're like, what the did he do? Did he find a book or whatever? Don't just have him pop up in the restaurant after traveling 400 years into the future and not tell me how he did it. It's cute, but I'm like, you had enough tape. So with this, I think I just needed to know. I don't know if she had a conversation with God, if something, I don't know, understand what happened. Yeah. But I just need to know why or how she becomes a genie. What conversation happened? Yeah. Because you realize K-dramas are known for wrapping up the last episode. We're explaining every single thing, everything, every single backstory. So if Kyung becomes a Jinniya, tell me why and how. And that's what I was annoyed by.
So I did say in my notes, I wish that we knew why she became a Jinniya.
Or just how.
Right. To me, I almost feel like, and I thought about it, I almost feel like they left it open-ended for interpretation. So I think it can mean a couple things, right? You know how maybe this is thinking a little bit too deep into it, but I wonder, like you see Angel appears in this episode, right? Mm-hmm. Like no one, like all the immortals are still there, right? So Genie has been, well, I would just say this. We're going to go through this, but I would say for me, I really like this ending. So I was so happy the way.
I like the resolution of the ending. Yeah. I was annoyed that she died. Uh-huh. And then, so I'm glad that of course they were going to end up together. Yeah. How they end up together. Yeah. I'm glad they ended together. I'm glad they can be together for eternity. Uh-huh. I did not like that she died. Uh-huh. I would have liked it more if Genie became mortal. That would have made more sense to me. If Genie becomes a human man, tell me how. If a human becomes a genie, tell me how. Her dying, I wasn't in love with it, but her becoming a genie, they get to be together forever, fine. Just explain it to me.
We'll go into it. Let's finish up let's go through it and we could talk about it at the end. Okay, so the first key moment, okay? Kyeong begins grieving, okay? Okay, so the opening scene actually, Pogyong is wondering why there's money in her room because we last left her off.
She forgets.
Because she made the final wish. She's sitting there. She's like, why is there money in my house? I would be so freaked out. Imagine you just have a pile of money. You can't remember where it came from. So she's like, did I steal it? Did I do something?
Well, you have to remember, I worked at a bank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she feels like she stole the money.
Because she doesn't remember, and she's also getting messages talking about her being fired from the bank. I know.
So she's like, yeah.
Wait a minute. Why is she still fired? Because if you don't remember anything that happens,
this is what I'm saying. Like the rules are kind of weird.
Because would they have remembered?
Because she wanted. Oh, and she tells Kyeong. Okay, so basically, she takes the money over to Kyeong, and she's like, "I think this is your money
because right? I know this is your bag.
I know this is your bag, right?" So she's like, "I was worried that I stole the money. All I need you to do is help me get my job back," which shows. That's the whole point. What you're making. It's like, why is that even happening?
Some stuff stays, some stuff doesn't.
Which is stupid. Okay. So then, basically, Kyeong decides to bury the money in her backyard, right? Mm-hmm. Minji comes by to check in on Kyeong. Kyeong's a mess.
She's not eating.
Minji's making food for her. She's trying to feed her all this stuff. But all Kyeong is doing is rubbing the lamp because she is trying to find Genie. She is trying to find Genie. Genie is nowhere to be found. Now, I think what Genie is doing right now is Genie is hiding from her because he doesn't want her to make a wish. Mm-hmm. You know, so he's like he doesn't want to face it. So he's literally hiding from her.
Like Genie, I hid from her for 3 hours.
Yeah. So basically, she spends like 2 days rubbing the lamp.
Close the shop down.
The entire time she's rubbing, she's not eating any food, none of it. But so she gets out of her room and she tells Minji, she's like, "I'm going." She like just marches off, okay, and she flies to Dubai, okay.
To where Minji is yelling in the driveway.
Yeah, like, please come back, screaming, crying. Because I think Minji knows what's happening. So Minji thinks that she's going to die. Like, Minji has the feeling. She's desperate. Okay. So then Kyeong is roaming the fucking desert in Dubai for hours. She lost her fucking shoe.
She loses a shoe.
She's on the hot fucking sand. Sure, she's not burning herself. I'm shocked. But she's running around looking for him. She finally finds him, okay? This is so fucking sad. Okay. He is like telling her, he's like, please, please, please don't make a selfish wish. Please, just please. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm okay. Make a selfish wish. Please, 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 right? Her mind is made up. And she wishes for a day to be normal. This part, I don't think I was expecting her to wish this.
No, I did not expect this at all because it's like, what would her last wish be? And so when it came to it, I was like, oh, I would have never thought that she would have picked this because she's like, I want to feel all of the emotions that I've never felt before.
Yeah. And my God, she does, right? She wants to understand. She's like, she wants to understand the purest form of love, pain, joy, selflessness of everyone around her.
And so she starts going back through the montage.
Well, before that, he grants the wish, right? But when he grants it, he bows down to her. Because you remember that was the whole point. He would never bow down to a human. But he bows down to her, and then he confesses his love. He's like, I love you. And then he lets the wish happen, okay?
Your wish is fulfilled.
So then he dissipates. He disappears. He's getting ready because Angel, towards like the next scene, Angel like slits his throat, right?
Because
he goes to hell. He's stuck in hell. Mm-hmm. But then when he dissipates, she forgets about him. Immediately, right?
And that's probably the other reason he didn't want her to make her last wish.
That's what I'm saying. So he forgets about him, but then she remembers her 28 years of life of all the emotion. Now she remembers grandma, all the townspeople teaching her, like, this is how you write, and like all this stuff. She like remembers everything, and she is just, this is like the most, I mean, this is her episode, but like, Susie crying, sobbing, like just all of this emotion, pent up emotion. It's fucking heartbreaking.
And I think she really, because she kind of like, I was grandma's burden.
Yeah.
Which, Because that's always something I've been worried about. Like, I don't want to be a burden to people.
Yeah.
And so I think about, like, right now they said there's like an uptick of like grandparents taking care of their grandchildren.
Yes.
But if you think about it, for like a long time, that's what was done anyway. But I think that for Kyung to get all these emotions at the same time, I think she was still misinterpreting grandma. Because grandma was like, I never wanted her to think that she was a burden to me. Mm-hmm. Because you have to remember, Angel's feather can only write the truth. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so when she wrote down it was grandma's burden, mm-hmm. and then Angel changes it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, mm-hmm. this year or whatever later, however long it's been, mm-hmm. it's been 2 weeks, we don't know. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she still believes it, even though an angel feather told you it wasn't true. Mm-hmm. And then you're not beginning to feel the full range of emotions, so you get to understand grandma better.
I don't think she felt like, I guess.
Because she says it out loud.
I think she says it, but I think she understands what her grandma was going through. That's what she means. Like, she understands that she wasn't grandma's burden, but she was at the same time, because she put a lot of stressor on Halmoni and everyone around her. No one's fault, but that was just natural. So I think she feels guilty about that. You know what I mean?
Everyone had to take care of her.
Because she's understanding, though, what everyone felt. She's understanding. She gets it. She's like, oh my gosh, yes, I wasn't grandmother's burden. Like, grandma didn't think, she was so proud of me. She loved me. But at the same time, I was her burden. Two things could be true at once, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think she was just like, but again, she's experiencing emotions of 28 years that she's never experienced before. And I think that's why she's wailing, she's like crying and all that stuff, because she's like understanding and feeling it for the first time.
Because like, if you've never felt those kind of emotions, and it's like when she felt fear for the first time.
Yeah.
Because before she's falling and she's like, this is great, I was so bored.
Yeah, and then now.
She felt fear because she didn't want to leave.
She didn't want to leave. People. And someone else did it to her, you know?
And it's also interesting because.
Like maliciously, not like, you know, like, haha, like, push me off the cliff, Genie. Haha, I want to have fun. Me. Yeah.
I still don't understand. I think it's a good last wish, but I still don't understand why she made it.
I mean, I kind of do.
Is it just to help her process the grief?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I think she was really struggling because she didn't understand. Like, she was really struggling with grandma's death, right?
Right.
Because she's sitting there, she's like literally making herself bleed to death. Mm-hmm. And everyone around her's mad at her. She's seeing everyone crying. Everyone's clearly upset. She knows it's wrong, but she doesn't feel anything. She's numb to it.
Right.
And right now, her primary focus, like, she loves Genie, but right now, she's not really thinking about Genie. She's thinking about her grandma. Like, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to her. Mm-hmm. The only person in her life has been a constant was grandma. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because, like, grandma did all of these things to help her.
I know.
And so there was always the deal with grandma and all of that. So, yeah, I think it's just interesting. It's like, because you can feel we got love and anger down. Mm-hmm. So it's this sadness thing and the fear, and there's just other emotions. So yeah, that's what I thought it meant, but I just wanted to make sure that I understood it.
Yeah. I think that's why she did it. And then Angel finds Genie at that spot,
with
right?
The tree.
And he's ready to decapitate him. And he says that Angel tells Genie that Kyung is set to die the next day. He's like, oh, she's going to die. She's dying the next day. So then Genie is like pleading to Angel to save Kyung, right? To don't let it happen. But Angel doesn't have it. He kills Genie, right? And then Genie goes to the underworld, right? He is sent to hell, right? And then this part I was not expecting. Irem shows up. And she finds a sobbing Kyung in the desert. And she tells Kyung, she's like, basically she apologizes. And she's like, I'm going to give you the memories of him to you. So she gives back Kyung's memories of Genie. So this part, I was like, is she even able to do this?
Is she able to do this?
Well, she did it because
and so not only that, she gave her memories of a past life. Mm-hmm. So it's not like this just happened. She pops up and goes, hey, listen, just so you know, like, you and your man, like, it was really good.
Yeah. And then she gives, and then, of course, now Kyung remembers Genie.
Not only that, it's, you've got emotions for the day. Then this is the perfect time for her to get these memories, because now she can have the full range of emotion. She can have the full love and the full pain and whatever.
Yeah.
And now she can really process her relationship with Genie.
So she's crying even harder because now she understands the Genie part of it, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot you for a second. Now I remember you."
In her defense, this is your fourth life.
Yes. So she's wandering around, and then I was just kind of like, "Is this gonna be it? Is she going to die?" And they actually kill her. This is how she dies. She literally passes out in the middle of the desert, crying to death. She cries herself to death.
Which I've been there.
Yeah, she cries herself to death. She dies. Then,
because I couldn't figure out, like, if she died from dehydration, does she die of a broken heart?
I think all of it probably.
Yeah,
but she but
crying while you're dehydrated is probably hard. So also, it was so crazy. They're making it seem like she was lost in the desert when you can see power lines behind her.
Yeah, and then she's like circling around.
It's like, you ain't that lost. There's power lines out here.
So she dies. Minji gets a call. Minji has to go get her stuff from Dubai.
And her body.
They bring it back. She's cremated in her wooden coffin.
That she made.
The village people, everyone's screaming that there's a fire. Get out of the fire. I was like sobbing. When they said that, I was
because this was my American what question.
Yeah.
Is this a traditional thing that happens at a funeral where someone's saying, I was like, this has to be.
I never heard of this. I don't know.
Maybe it's mainland funeral culture.
I don't know. I've never seen.
But it was everyone yelling, "It's hot! Get out of there! It's hot! Get out of there!" And I'm like, I was like, this has to be.
I don't know. I've never heard that. But then again, we don't really see. Like, I don't think everyone gets to go and watch the cremation happen.
Well, I found out depending on where you live, because I was like
I'm okay. I don't think I could.
It depends on, like, the culture. So, like, I know, like, in the UK, at the end of the funeral, it just goes down the conveyor belt. I was like, this is the part I don't need, because my grandpa got cremated.
Yeah.
And so,
I don't think I need to see all of that.
When the funeral was over, we went home.
Yeah.
They took the body.
Yeah, and then
they sent us a metal box.
Yeah, and then you put the yeah.
I thought about this a million times. I cannot be buried in the ground.
You want to be cremated?
I have to be.
I think a lot of people choose to be cremated. Or you put the cremated thing, the box of ashes, into the ground.
My body's still in the ground. You just ground me up. No. I can't be trapped in the dirt like that.
Okay.
I don't know why I think it's a thing. You know what? Put me in bubble solution. Cremate me, put me in bubble solution, then blow me as bubbles.
Okay, God. But I will tell you, that broke my fucking heart. Oh. I was like, what is happening?
Even that, what is her name? Pokyong. And but that's why I was like, this must be a traditional thing, because she was just like, it was almost like she didn't want to say it, but it was like she felt bad.
No, I think Pokyung was saying it because I think she felt true, like, sorrow. I think you said this just a second ago, but it's like, did Kyung have to die? You know, I think that the ending itself, there was no way that they could have had a happy ending, in my opinion, without something supernatural happening.
Oh, yes. That's why I was saying.
Me, I kind of, when I saw her die, I was like, huh.
I can say,
I was like, okay, then she dies. Okay. And I kind of accepted it, and I was like, okay, so then maybe it's just a sad ending. Which, again, felt oddly realistic for this fantasy story if they wanted to leave it that way.
I would say that I more expected Genie becoming human than I expected Young dying and then becoming a Jinniya.
So when I saw the dying, I was like, oh, maybe then they just meet in the afterlife. I thought about that too.
Yeah. So it was
I was like, that may kind of, maybe they just meet in heaven somewhere.
Right. So like Genie gets forgiven because he bowed. So I'm like, okay, Genie gets forgiven because he finally bowed to a human. Mm-hmm. And because, that's what Jinniya said, we all had to bow. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, Genie finally, that's why after Genie bows and then he still gets killed by Angel, and I was like, no, he bowed. Because the reason they went to war is because he wouldn't. And the big part of the conflict is that the genies wouldn't bow to the humans, right? So I'm like, if he finally bows to a human, then maybe God will forgive him and then he doesn't have to get killed. So once he bowed to Young, I was like, okay, this is the ultimate sacrifice. He bowed to her. He's not going to get killed. I'm like, okay, fine. He still got killed because Angel was still going to do it. So now that he's dead, he's going to come back as a human for them to be together. And it's like, okay, now Young's dead. Then maybe they'll get together in the afterlife and then they'll both come back as humans, or at least be together for eternity in the afterlife.
Okay, so then out of nowhere, key moment 3, Young comes back as Jinniya. Okay, so Minji is visiting Young's graveside, or like her, the little place where you put the cremated,
the cremains, yes.
Cremains, right? And Young returns. She's a Jinniya. She's super pretty. But this part is what got me.
She's rubbing her urn. So I was like, how are you going to be a genie to anybody else?
Minji screams, and then you find out that so Young is a genie, and she's there to grant the wishes. So there's a couple things here. Okay,
so she dies and comes back to work.
She dies and she comes back to work, and we don't know how she does it, right? Mm-hmm. But she's back, okay? But the important thing is, Young has emotions. This genie has emotions, which that made me very happy. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. This is great. She has feelings now.
Because a psychopath genie would have been insane.
Yeah. So Minji asks she does her 3 wishes, right? The first one is, every Wednesday you have to eat seafood stew with me, because that was the whole joke, right? Mm-hmm. Because old Young made her have kamjatang every Wednesday, right?
It worked, yep.
But she didn't like kamjatang. She wanted seafood instead. So she changes that so they have seafood. And then she wishes to have all the needy children in their town go get services from her. That was really funny, because you see Arcade Boy, the Genie's little friend, thinking he's going to the arcade, but then it's like the arcade magically turns into a dentist office, and he's like, what? And she's like, you got to solve these problems or I'm not going to give you anesthesia. And he's like, what?
I got to do. She's like, your grades aren't good.
Yeah.
So do this math.
And then she's about to do the 3rd wish, right? But then Young stops her. She's like, don't do the 3rd wish. Not yet. Because this is where I was just kind of like, why wouldn't she just tell Minji, hey, if you give up the 3rd wish, you'll forget me? Because so my whole point is, she doesn't need to give up the 3rd wish. Why can't she just live happily ever after with Minji?
And that bothered me.
But
also,
like,
if she doesn't remember now every Wednesday, who is she having the seafood soup with? Because she knows Young is dead. She didn't forget that. So who is she going to start eating soup with on Wednesdays?
What?
What was her first wish?
Her first wish was for Young, the genie Young, to eat seafood soup with her.
But after the 3rd wish, she doesn't remember Genie Young.
Yeah, so the wish just disappears. It counteracts it, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, okay, got it. Okay.
We were supposed to forget. Popey told you where the toy was, and yet here we are.
So then they have another cherry blossom festival. So we get some resolution. Everyone has a happy ending. Like, YouTube couple seems happy. Mm-hmm. Village leader's very happy with his little, his posse.
Strawberry business.
Yes. And then Pogyung looks happy too. She's like trying to recruit people to join the bank.
Which,
okay, so then
to go to all of that to still have the same amount of money and then still work at that job at the bank. All of that.
She forgot everything. Again, the forgetting. I know.
But
weird.
If everybody forgot, then it would be like, well, why did she get fired? Do you remember why you fired her? I don't remember why I fired her.
So maybe
that's how she got her job back, because they forgot why they fired her.
So
because they wouldn't have a record of her stealing money, because it wouldn't happen.
So then Minji, this was very sweet. Minji plans a firework display like last time in the old cherry blossom, what Genie did for Kayoung, right? And it's the same thing, like sexy or whatever. And then it's 기가영 너 네가 너 내 안에 있어, which is like you're inside of me, that whole thing, that whole bit. But then the difference is Kayoung is crying because she understands it now, the emotion. This part got me. I was like, I'm so happy she feels this. And then she finally makes her third wish, right? Minji. Because Minji's was basically like, hey, you know, I was caught off guard when you started crying. Because I knew you came back as a genie, but I didn't realize like you were a genie with feelings. So like I didn't know how to process this, but I just want you to be happy. And then she makes her third wish. And then, again, I don't know why Kayoung didn't tell her that the memories we wiped out. But she makes the third wish that she wishes that Kayoung gets a chance to see the ones she misses the most. Okay?
Which could be grandma or Genie.
So she makes the wish. And she's like, no, don't do it. She does it. And of course, fucking Minji forgets everything
immediately and bumps into her.
And Minji does it because the genie, the faces change.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, sorry. So Minji is off in La La Land. She has no idea what the fuck's happened. She's living her life thinking Kayoung and everyone's dead. Kayoung's dead, Genie's dead, everyone's dead. Halmoni's dead. She literally has no one. This makes me so fucking sad. Anyways, key moment number 4. Genie comes back, okay? So Kayoung is there in their cherry blossom walk. She's drinking a beer. The CGI cherry blossoms are coming down. And she's like, oh, in this moment, this is the perfect moment for me to like, you know, she's like, oh, it's raining cherry blossoms. This is a perfect moment for a kiss, right? And then out of nowhere, like magic, Genie pops up and kisses her. And it's a very hot makeout scene.
As if Chona came from the distant past.
Yes. So then he comes, okay? And then we discover...
But I love that she starts jumping up and down and
she's screaming. She's so happy. And then we discover that once Minji made the wish, right? For Kayoung to see the person she misses the most, we go to heaven, okay? Halmoni, young Halmoni, is chasing Angel around in the afterlife, right? Basically badgering him, being like, you need to bring Genie back to Kayoung. Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? So she's like peppering him.
She refuses to go to heaven.
Yeah, she's like, nope, I'm going to be right here.
So she put herself in purgatory.
So she's just like, I'm going to bug you to the very end. So then finally Angel's like, leave me alone. Then he goes to God and he's like, hey, do you mind? And the God's like, you know what? Just let the woman have her wish. Just do it. Send Genie.
Because he's at that tree.
Yep.
He's at that tree. And he's just like, please help me. And it's just like thunder, 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 thunder. Kind of like the adults on the Peanuts.
Yeah.
It's like, wah, 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 wah. And it's like, no, sir, I didn't do my homework. So yeah. And so it's just Angel being like, please get her off my back.
So then Genie's lamp gets thrown into Koryo, right? Back into Korea. So he is discovered, he gets like thrown into a junkyard. So I guess he gets his lamp rubbed. So he's back, okay?
Right.
Then now they're reunited, which is very sweet. They're out here granting people random wishes. He starts growing his hair out using special shampoo because he needs to grow Sade back, right? Because Sade was from his hair.
This is my thing. Can anyone... So how do people find Kayoung to make a wish? What do they rub?
I didn't even know. I don't think they showed the lamp. So I don't know. I didn't understand that when you said that she rubbed the urn. I didn't get that. Did she?
Because how does Kayoung come to Minji? Because you see her like touching her urn, saying like goodbye, and then Kayoung comes out.
And the Kayoung appears to a random lady. She appears at the supermarket. It's the manager. Remember the mean manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, she appears to her. I don't know.
But what does she rub?
I don't know. I don't think they show that, right?
They don't.
Okay.
What a weird plot hole.
Sade's back in human form, is biting Angel, begging for him to create Irem again. And then Irem...
So I guess Irem does die.
Oh, yeah. And then Irem comes back because you see an owl yelling at all the people, being like, village leader! Sade, like she's like talking to me. It's weird. Okay.
My girl, what for episode 13 was the genie getting caught in a pyramid scheme.
I thought
because that lady rubbed the lamp because it was disguised as
the water bottle.
As a water bottle, and then he's trying to give her wishes, and then she's trying to sell him jade mats, and he's like, "Oh, I can't do this. I don't know 10 people."
Or like, and then and then one of the people from the Cabbage Patch died, so he's like.
So then he starts working the Cabbage Patch. He's like, I do know 10 people now. And so she's like, because Kyung starts chasing him because like you cannot get Sade caught up in a pyramid scheme.
It's flash forward to, and then we see an older Minjii, right? Mm-hmm. She has gray hair. She's in Dubai and she's watching the desert. What is it? The dancing, the
waltzing genie.
The waltzing genie.
But what was also ridiculous to me is when they come back and they're a couple and now they're working. Genie tries to get Kyung to go to the Cabbage Patch to work. And she's in this fancy coat. And she's like,
I have money. He's
like, you can't work in that. She's like, I have money.
I have money. And then she's also able to hide herself. And he's like, oh my God, that's a skill set that takes years to learn. How are you able to like
1,000 years to do that? And she's like, well, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah. So then Minji's there watching the waltzing genies, right? And then she's like, I love it here. It's like my favorite place. And she doesn't know why. Because she doesn't know. She doesn't know that they're both genies out there. You know what I mean?
But she does remember Genie then.
Yeah, she remembers Genie.
Because she would have remembered
She
Genie,
only
right?
forgot the Genie part, the Jinniya part.
So she would have remembered Halmoni being young.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think she knew like what I don't think she knows that that's Genie out there being the waltz. She just is drawn to this place, right? And then we see in the distance, it's actually Genie and Kyung dancing the waltz.
Because remember, she said he was a loser for dancing by himself.
Yeah, so they were dancing together. And then this is when Genie tells her that the reason why they were able to be together was because of Halmoni, right? Mm-hmm. Because Halmoni in the inn, you can see it in the sky, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, she says, I shall now leave you each with one Satan and one psychopath. May you both love and long for each other. It's a very sweet ending. And then there's also this like really meta moment where like they're like talking into the camera. Yes. She's like, they're probably thinking we're going to say something cheesy like Habibti and end it. It's funny. But anyways, that's how it ends. They have the music playing. It's like my favorite song of the OST. We didn't talk about the OST as much because it was kind of meh. But A Night Full of You, which is sang by Suzy. It's a duet between Suzy and this singer named Ho Subin. And yeah, and that's how it ends. That's how it ends.
We hope y'all are happy. We did this in 2 episodes. We covered 4 episodes in 2 episodes. I'm glad y'all
stuck around.
Y'all stuck around. And listen, I think you're going to like it more than you think you do.
So, but to the point, right? So, I
think it bothered me because
you didn't know why she turned into Jinniya.
Yes, because for a genre that is known for explaining so much, it seems like sometimes these writers lately come in the last episode have been like, fire sale. It's like, wrap it up. It's like the IRS is coming. It's like
Do you think though, maybe it's like, isn't it interesting? Like the Kyung character, right? She had so many past lives. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She was a little girl. Mm-hmm. She came back as she never died. She came back. She was a little girl. Mm-hmm. Then she came back. Yi Sun-shin, like back in the day as like a independence fighter. She had so many roles that she played, right? Versions of herself, right? So maybe she was just fated after her death to become something significant. So maybe that's why she becomes a Jinniya. Maybe she's like a special person or a special, she has special fate.
Would you want to be a genie?
If it means that I get to be with the love of my life that I've been literally chasing for 1,000 years, maybe. I honestly think God felt bad. Mm-hmm. I think God felt bad. and then he made her into a Jinniya. He brought her back to life.
Yeah.
I think maybe God was up there being like, you know what? I clearly failed with Angel.
She's had a rough go of it.
She had a rough go of it. We have been torturing her. Literally, she's been tortured. Think about it. She got scratches on her face. She got attacked by fucking mountain lions or whatever. Like,
the hyenas came and killed. So as like, it was her first life was bad.
And maybe this was his way of rewarding her because she was always a good person. She literally saved lives during like the Korean history. Throughout the Korean history, she was always like an independence fighter warrior, right?
Right.
Then she was like a psychopath, but she still did selfless wishes. She still was a decent person. She tried really hard. So maybe he's rewarding her. And maybe that's why he made her into a Jinniya.
Oh, because no matter how hard things were for her, she was still selfless to other people.
Yeah. Maybe it was her reward. And then maybe he felt like Genie got the short end of the stick because, you know, Angel was a lunatic and tried to kill him the entire time. You know what I mean? So maybe he was like, you know what? Genie suffered too. Genie suffered 983 years. He cried over his like long lost love. And then he lost her again. He lost her a lot.
And what was crazy, for 983 years, he was crying over somebody he couldn't remember.
I know. So maybe that's what it was. But
maybe it was like maybe it was like them being able to be, it was like, okay, y'all really love each other. Yeah. And I can't make y'all people.
Yeah. I can't make you guys humans, but
because I can't make Genie a person because Genie is a genie.
Yeah.
So it's probably easier to make Kyung a genie.
Because she's already dead.
So I can make your soul into a genie as opposed to trying to make this thing that was never a human.
Yeah. Or, again, it's her new life. Because her previous lives all died too, and they came back.
Right.
So instead of becoming a human, they just made her a genie.
Oh. Also, God can do whatever he wants. So I'm just like, God could have made him into...
So maybe that's why they didn't have to explain it. So maybe that was yeah.
Oh, God did it.
God did it. It's her new life.
Yeah, because she kept coming back.
She literally kept coming back over and over again.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't hurt that she has like an advocate in the purgatory chasing around his person. Halmoni is literally chasing Angel around.
And then at one point he's chasing her, like, go to heaven. She's like, nope.
Yeah.
No.
So, what was your drama ranking? You know, we always do drama rankings at the end. On a scale of 1 through 10.
I'd say if you take out like slight inconsistencies, I'd say an 8.
Yeah, I really liked it. I would say 8. I really, really enjoyed watching this. I don't think there was a moment where I was bored.
I was never bored.
Because
there were moments during Queen of Tears.
I was bored to death.
And then there were a few moments during Marry My Husband where I was like, okay.
Marry My Husband, I was not bored. I think I think
whenever Yura was Yura made me bored.
Yeah. No, I give this a solid 8. I was really, really, in fact, I think I would give it like almost, I don't know, I give it an 8. Mm-hmm. Because Marry My Husband, I was genuinely like, you know, but it for me, it didn't get the 10 because I feel like Cheok's character was a little bit weaker.
Yes.
Cheok's character was just kind of weird.
There was a point where you're just like, bruh.
Yeah. And I would say with this one, probably the inconsistency of like the wishes, like the forgetting of the wish, that just throws me off.
The forgetting of the wish bothered me.
That really bothers me. That's so inconsistent. Some people remember, like we're so confused to it. So we loved it. So we gave it an 8 for both.
Because people, honestly, if you're not watching this, if you don't want to finish this, just finish it. Because it's better than you think it is.
Oh, again, the last 4 episodes, 3, yeah, the last 4 we talked about, like, riveting. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, like, you're just kind of like, what's happening? Because there's things revealed till the very end.
There really was like, well, damn.
Really liked it.
What happened?
I really liked it. I love the lore. I thought all the characters are so interesting. The fact that she's a psychopath. Yes, were there moments where you're just like, does she have feelings? Does she not have feelings? But, like, I loved it. Loved it. I love the fact that Genie was good the entire time. Angel was bad.
And you find out and you see the arc of Genie being bad and then becoming good. Because there's moments it's like, humans are always greedy.
Yeah.
And it was like, and he didn't even remember those 20 years.
Yeah.
But he knew about the greed of humans.
It is, like you said, everyone should finish it. I really liked it. I really, really, really liked the show. I really did. I genuinely did.
Because we weren't sure if we were going to, but old girl wrote
the
it.
First episode, I was just like, what is happening? But then as you get into it, it's good. So we loved it. So it's Christmas Eve today, as we mentioned.
Christmas time.
So because of the holidays, right, we're going to switch up our release schedule a bit, okay? So the first episode of our next drama chase, which is going to be Dynamite Kiss.
Dynamite Kiss.
We're going to do a special episode. So we're going to release the first episode this Friday, okay? So today's Wednesday, so in 2 days we're going to do it. It's on the 26th because, as you guys know, the final episode of Dynamite Kiss airs on Christmas. So we thought it'd be kind of fun just to release it. And then we're going to take the following week off, right? Because people are usually busy doing stuff like for New Year's and stuff. So then we will be back on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 with the second episode of Dynamite Kiss. Okay?
Love it.
Let us know what you guys think about the podcast. Please submit your thoughts, rants, whatever, anything at chasingkdramas@gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys directly. Be sure to follow us on our social channels, all the things you guys know. Follow the Substack, like everything. Just, give us all the love, okay? And we hope you guys have a lovely Christmas, and we'll see y'all later.
Sarangees.
Chasing K-Dramas is hosted and executive produced by Dulcé, Sloan, and me, Chrissy, Choi. I edit the audio and video, and our production is led by Thomas Yuen from TY Media and Go Get 'Em Productions. Our artwork is designed by Yice Cream. We're an indie podcast, and we're always looking for fun partnerships. If you're a brand that's interested in sponsoring our chases, or if you're a fan who just wants to stay in touch, please check out our website at chasingkdramas.com.